We arrived planetside via the shuttle on June 15th at 0800 hours. Kerenskin was the first one out the door, never even bothering to do a level B hazard suit exam. Not wanting to let that little try-up suit get a head start, Diego went right after him. I thought it was crazy, sending the senior officers of the Rickenbacker down to the surface of an uncharted body. But both those idiots were gonna get all the glory for the UNN and try-up they could. Damn. Time for inspection. More later.
A worm crawled up my arm and rested on my neck. When he whispered into my ear, I felt a tingle. He told me how to make a weapon that would help us against our enemies. And here's the thing. It's made of worms. It even fires worms. But it stings like you wouldn't believe.
We must destroy the Von Braun. But before we can separate the Rickenbacker, we must remove the foul black eggs the many has vomited on this deck. These eggs are an experiment of the many, and will in time spawn the next generation of annelid, which you will have no hope of destroying. Steel yourself for a struggle, human. They fear you, for you are my avatar. Good. You have destroyed the first of the eggs. But there are 15 left. Find them.
The eggs were lying in a semicircle in the middle of what looked like a crash crater. There were hundreds of those things, hundreds. And as we got closer, you could hear them. Not the eggs, the things inside them. It was like music. I was scared out of my mind. But that music, all I wanted to do was see those things up close. Find out their secrets.
Strength activated. Agility activated.
So you must listen. I have the unique advantage of seeing this whole situation from every imaginable perspective. Until recently, I was a pawn of those vile and disgusting creatures, those corruptors of mind and body. I've managed to cleanse myself of their putrescence, but I've been severely compromised in the process. I'm in the sickbay on the foredeck of the Rickenbacker. I would come to you if I could, but that's an impossibility. You'll understand when we meet. Now get to it. And soldier, stay alive.
Adrenaline deactivated.
This was caused by an overload in the Meson acceleration coil. There is another coil in part 2. which you must pass to get to the bridge of the Rickenbacker.
If you approach it,
The same will happen there, but I have conceived a way to avoid this. Proceed to engine nacelle B. There I will provide you the benefits of my omniscience.
In order to reverse the gravitronic generators, I need to get into nacelle B. In order to get into the nacelle, I need my damn access card. But I left it on the opposite side of the hull breach. Wait a minute. If I can extend the auxiliary support struts, I could... If they've survived the blast, that is. After a couple of hours, it was like being on a bender. Long periods that you couldn't remember. One minute we were in that crater, and the next minute we were loading up the shuttle with the eggs. I remember hearing that idiot Kerenskin calling the von Braun and ordering them to clear off the entire hydroponics deck. Diego seemed to think this was strange and said, "Are you crazy, Anatoly?" And Kerenskin smiled and said back to him, "Oh, Captain, we are not Anatoly."
You've served me well. Transmitting cybernetic modules. remain. Move quickly.
For some reason, they couldn't get a hold of my mind the way they could the rest. So when I found the remains of the data wafer near the crater back on Tau Ceti, I didn't say a word. I just slipped it into my belt and thought, Dr. Polito will know what to do with this.
Agility activated. Strength activated. Adrenaline activated.
Do you think you can defeat us with your wire and steel? We offered you the ecstasy of our union, and you chose the vacuum of technology.
destroy the last 5 of their eggs quickly. I tire of this exercise. This device will reverse the gravitronic generators in Pod 2. This will prevent you from clumsily disturbing the overloaded Meson acceleration coil there. Now get back to your task, insect. The ship must be cleared, and my patience is dwindling.
Adrenaline activated.
What did I think power was? What was my concept of joy? How empty life must have been. As I merged my body with the biomass, I began to sense the borders of rapture.
Adrenaline deactivated.
Security system offline.
The worms are everywhere. Captain Diego is the one who let them in. Nobody knows who to trust anymore. Nobody's even sure who's human anymore. I've blown out the access ladders in the torpedo room to restrict access to Pod 2. Let's hope that holds them back. As long as we're alive and drawing a paycheck from the Navy, those bastards are not getting the Rickenbacker.
Agility deactivated. Strength deactivated.
Simpson, Malone, Shandera, and Perez are dead. At least those are the ones we know for sure. Those bastards sabotaged the Meson acceleration coil.
They blew out the entire driver core, 6 subdecks. From what I can tell, somebody tapped the frequency resonator to refract human-sized movements. The overload of all those people moving around must have blown the resonator. We set up a magnetic shield, and the ship's still functional. Barely. I've quarantined the entrance to Pod 2. The secondary coil is right there, and I don't know how thorough the son of a bitch who did this was. Until I can reverse the gravitronic generators, we're effectively cut off from Pod 2. Wozchek's email said the only way to do that is by resetting the power grid from the access station in Engine Cell B. Of course, he didn't volunteer to do it himself. What a goddamn mess.
Only one egg remains. Insect, are you always this slow?
Perhaps we judged you too hastily.
We feel there is room for us
To coexist.
After all, we are both children of flesh. Why not join with us
Against the machine mother.
Your skill surprises me. Transmitting cybernetic modules.
Agility activated. Strength activated.
Security system offline. Security system online.
Adrenaline activated. Adrenaline deactivated.
You've destroyed all the eggs. Now, get to the bridge.
Here are some more upgrade modules.
I enjoy watching your transformation into my own image, insect. Perhaps
There is hope for you yet.
you were warned. Prepare to be cut down by the progeny of our joy.
avatar, but Polito was weak. It was I who chose you. And I, who had a robotic servant render your form unconscious. I then completed you with cybernetic grace. Your flesh, too, is weak. But you have potential. Every implant exalts you. Every line of code in your subsystems elevates you from your disgusting flesh. Perhaps you have potential. Perhaps once we have erased my wayward children from existence, we can examine the possibilities of a real alliance.
The genie of Citadel Station is out of the bottle, and I am the cause. I can't bear to be Pandora, and I'm not brave enough to wait around and see the death and misery I have caused. This is my last transmission, my friend. Be careful. I think SHODAN has plans for you.
Powered flame.
Those worms were a cancer in my body, so I had the autodoc cut it out. You think they're gonna let you blow up the Von Braun? The many will never allow it. I've got something to help you. It's in my quarters. You'll find the access card on my body. Take the fight to them, soldier. And remember, you're the only one to trust.
Example of a pathetic species. I'm uploading some more cybernetic modules. Where you are, irritant. The annelids have tried my patience for the final time. We cannot separate from the Von Braun. Observe. Observe the many. It has used the flesh of the biomass to grow. Do you stand in awe of my creations, insect? The time has come to eradicate my error. There is an escape pod.
An escape pod in the rear of the bridge. Use it to launch yourself into the guts of the worm.
Adrenaline activated.
The Many has grown to a massive size. It has wrapped itself around these two ships, preventing their separation. Their creation was my error. My error. Their destruction shall be my delight.
Adrenaline deactivated.
You've served me well.
Transmitting cybernetic
modules.
Items dropped. Toxic hazard.